Hi there, this is video 2.3, rate of change in slope. So let's look at a vocabulary. What vocabulary do we have here? We have two things, rate of change and slope, and our objectives are find the rate of change and determine the slope of a line. So rate of change, what is the definition? It's a ratio that compares how much one quantity changes on average relative to the change in another quantity. All right, so let's look at our real world example here. It says, real world example, constant rate of change. The table shows the temperature of a solution after it has been removed from a heat source. Find the rate of change in temperature for the solution. So here we want to find the change in temperature. So the change in, remember, a rate is just a fraction, rate and fraction, over the change in time. Okay, so if we look at our table here, we're going to use the time 2 minutes and 5 minutes and its corresponding temperature. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to find the changes in temperature. So we're going to take 133.1 and we're going to minus 139.4. In the same order, now we're going to take the change in time. So it's 5 minus 2. When we do this, we get negative 6.3 divided by 3, or simply negative 2.1. So we say the temperature drops by 2.1 degrees Celsius. All right? So you just pick two coordinates like we did here, and you start from the bottom minus the top over the change of these two. Oops, I don't want to edit this. All right, pause this and do guided practice 1. Okay, we're back. Now, our second vocabulary is slope. Slope is the ratio of change in y to the corresponding x. So basically, it's a change in y, delta y over delta x. It's a Greek symbol that means change. So change in y over change in x. And the formula that you use is y2 minus, y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's look at our first example. So this is the slope formula. You really need to know this. It's a change in y's, or another way of saying is rise over run. You rise up and down vertically, which is the y coordinate, y-axis, and you run horizontally, left or right. Okay, so that's how you can think of it. You forget, it's just the changes in the two y's over the changes in the two x's. All right, and x1 cannot equal to x2 because you get 0 and you cannot have 0 in the denominator. So let's look at our example that we have given. Oops, sorry, we were there. All right, so it says, guided practice, find the slope of a line that passes through negative 4, 3 and 2, 5. So let's write these down. Now, it doesn't matter which ones are the 1s and which ones are the 2s. I just go from, let's see what the book does. So the book uses this x1, y1. First of all, you have to know the first coordinate's x, second coordinate's y. So therefore, this has to be x2 and y2. So we said my formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is 5, and you put your minus as your formula. y1 is 3. Okay, it's not y and x, or y and this x and y and this x. It's y2 minus y1. Then x2 is 2 minus, what is that? A negative 4. So this becomes 2. This becomes 2 plus 4, or simply 2/6. It's a fraction, so your slope is 1/3. Pause the video and try guided practice 3A and 3B. Okay, so now we're going to find the slope of a line given the graph. So they give us a graph here. You need to make sure you find the coordinates that are right in the corners. And you can see this coordinate here and this coordinate here are right at the corners. And those coordinates are going to be negative 2, 0 and 0, negative 3. All right, so we're going to use these coordinates to find our slope. So we're going to call this x1, comma, y1, x2, comma, y2. So we said y2, -3, minus y1 is 0 over 0 minus -2. So this is simply -3. The opposite of -2 is +2, and 0 minus -2 is +2. So it's just going to be 2, or simply -3/2, or if you want to rewrite it, -1 1/2. That is your slope. You just got to find 2 points from the graph, but they have to be in the corners. Okay, I know this is not real straight, but it has to be right here. It cannot be anywhere in here because you're guessing. It's an estimate of some kind of fraction or decimal. Pause the video or stop the video and do the last guided practice. Find the slope of the line for the graph 4a. All right?